Hi, and welcome to this week's Therapy Corner. My name is Elisa, and I'm one of the occupational therapists at OSNS. And today I want to talk about messy or sensory play and how you can encourage this at home with your kids. So messy play is basically anything that involves exploring different textures with your hands. And it can involve dry ingredients like dry pasta or beans or rice, or more wet ingredients. So things like finger paint, shaving cream, slime, basically anything that they can do with their hands and have a sensory experience with. Messy play is great for a number of areas of development, including physical development, language development, cognitive development, and of course sensory development, because they're working on using all of their senses together to experience new sensations. So a few ways that I recommend introducing messy play. For one, I start by taking a tray or a container to put the materials in. And so here I've got dry rice and I've got some pasta that I've put together so that the child can play with it and experience different textures. You could also incorporate things like pom-poms, for example, just for a different, softer texture. Or of course, if we're playing with something a little bit messier, you can incorporate some other things in that too. It's all about mixing different textures to explore. I also recommend bringing in your child's favorite toys. So for example, if they love cars, bring the cars and they can drive through whatever it is you're playing with to make it more fun and interesting for them. Another thing I recommend is using scoops and cups and anything you can think of to interact with the materials. This can make it fun to, scoop up the rice and pour it into the cup and do different things like that. Basically, I just recommend following your child's lead and see what they're interested in doing with the materials. Never forcing them to touch anything that they're not ready to touch. Because we want to keep it fun and positive, not too overwhelming for them. So I just recommend modeling fun interactions and encouraging them to copy you. One common response that you might see from your child, especially with some of those more messy items, is splaying the fingers and seeming really uncomfortable with what's on their hands. And my recommendation for this is to not rush to wipe their hands. I like to respond in a nice, calm way so that you can model, this isn't something to be worried about. It's just a different feeling. So commenting on what it is that they're experiencing, like, oh, that's sticky, or that's wet, and just talking about the sensory properties of what it is they're touching. And you can talk them through it. So encourage them to do different things with their hands. Maybe they can rub their hands together, or they can put their hands back into what it is they're playing with and see how that feels. And if they're just not able to follow your directions at this point, after reassuring them that it's okay and that it's just a different feeling, you can just wipe their hands off. And then maybe they're willing to use the scoops to continue playing with whatever it is. Or maybe they're all done playing and you'll try again another day. But this is all just part of encouraging kids to learn how to tolerate different sensations in a positive and fun way. Those are a few recommendations on how to encourage messy play at home. If you have any questions or concerns about your child's sensory development, don't hesitate to contact OSNS, and we're always happy to help.